monster comes from Greek mythology and consists of the upper body of a young woman and a lower body of 6 dogs. Scylla has not always been a monster though. Originally, she was the daughter of a nymph and beautiful, but a jealous sorceress poisoned the waters where Scylla liked to go. After taking a bath there, 6 dog heads and 12 dog feet grew out of her abdomen. Completely disfigured, Scylla wanted to avenge the disaster she had suffered and became a wild monster. From then on, she lived opposite another monster on a rock in a strait and ate everything that lived and came within her reach. For example, 6 companions of the Greek hero Odysseus.
Okay, so if I got the math right here, I feel like the dog head to dog leg ratio is off. Because if there's 6 dog heads and 12 dog legs, that means all these dogs only have 2 legs. I'm sure it moves around just fine with 12 legs, spindly claws and whatnot, but I feel like it's a little off, you know? Shouldn't we be having a full 24 dog legs? Is my math correct? I mean, I didn't go into this field to do math, obviously, but Scylla does sound pretty formidable either way. Although, if she's on a rock in a strait, I guess she'd be pretty large at some point, right? Especially based on the art. But how effective would she be at attacking living things in the water if she's got 12 dog legs? Dogs aren't known for their phenomenal swimming ability. Like the doggy paddle is a famously inefficient swimming stroke.
Is also known as Midgard serpent or world serpent and inhabits the ocean surrounding Midgard. A child of Loki and Angerboda, Jormungandr was dispelled into the ocean by Odin, and it was there that it grew massive enough to encircle the earth. The serpent is of simple design, but its formidable size is impressive, making it a match even for its rival, the god of thunder, Thor. Jormungandr is said to wrap around the world and grab hold of its own tail.
Yeah, and it gnaws at the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil, to bring about Armageddon. Or is it Ragnarok? It's probably Ragnarok. But hey, either way, right? The end of the world. That's all that is happening. This thing is enormous, is monstrous, is monstrous, is a monstrosity. And even the Norse gods have a tough time standing up against this gigantic snake. Gotta love it.
Leviathan of the Middle Ages was used as an image of Satan attempting to eat God's creatures. Leviathan became associated with, and may originally have referred to, the visual motif of the Hellmouth, a monstrous animal into whose mouth the damned disappear at the Last Judgment. Young Earth creationists argue that both the Leviathan and the Behemoth in the Bible could only have been dinosaurs that they claim still existed when the Book of Job was written. In the study of demonology, the Leviathan is one of the 7 princes of hell and its gatekeeper.
God, love a good Leviathan. Great roller coaster, absolutely. But yeah. Ooh. Just the word itself, Leviathan, just associated with everything like unimaginably huge, like some like Lovecraftian imagery here for certain. I feel like they've got to be making horror movies about this thing, right? Maybe not in name. Talked about a lot of Leviathan related things while looking into some demon facts for other videos. So I think that last little tidbit he dropped off there, could be onto something.
They are yokai that have traits of humans and reptiles and a beak-like mouth.
Oh.
The water demons attack humans and animals passing their territory, drown them, and then steal their liver.
Look at them. Oh, they steal your liver?
They are only as tall as children and relatively harmless on land, but in the water, they are all the more dangerous. As long as there is a special magical fluid in their sara, that's the plate-shaped hollow on their head, these beings cannot be defeated by humans. However, if they lose some of the fluid, they become weaker and may even die. Kappa often steals cucumbers or drowns people who ate cucumbers before swimming.
Classic Kappa. Love them. They're just so freaking hideous. They just look like middle managers at a terrible business firm. With the bowl cut and the bald spot on their head. They're strong. They'll drown you. They'll take your liver, man. Your kidney, too, if you're lucky. Holy smokes. I love it when kappas show up in, like, random manga and anime, too. Like, they're such classic Japanese pieces of folklore, and they always show up, like, in random assorted like modern stories as like reimaginings of them, and I don't know.
Bozu is said to live in the ocean and
Bozu.
capsize the ship of anyone who dares speak
Bro,
to
that
it.
thing's terrifying. Look at it.
This spirit's
Woo!
name, which combines the character for sea with the character of
Wrinkly.
Buddhist monk, is possibly related to the fact that the Umi Bozu is said to have a large, round head. Alternatively, they are demonic yokai, specters, that appear to shipwreck victims and fishermen. It's usually reported as having a grey, cloud-like torso and serpentine limbs. If angered, it asks the crew to provide a barrel. It then fills it with seawater to drown them.
Couldn't you just drown them in the sea, Mr. Umibozu? Do you have to take their barrel, fill it with water, and then drown them in that? Seems like a couple extra steps, adding insult to injury. Maybe that's the point, you know? Keep the legend alive. But I feel like you could just drag them off the boat, put them in the water. They're cooked anyways. Capsize their ship, that's where they'll drown. Damn. The idea that, like, it's sort of, like, human-ish, and that it's, like, standing, like, head and shoulders above the water. Imagine if its, like, limbs reached the bottom of the ocean floor. How incredibly, disturbingly, phenomenally large this thing is. Holy smokes.
Big-headed, mischievous atrocity is said to capsize the ship of any
Umibozu
brave
again?
soul that addresses the sea-dwelling creature. Other lore of the Umibozu paints it
getting
as
more
a
lore
demonic
this time.
entity, thought to be drowned priests that indiscriminately shipwreck those that cross its path. Often depicted as serpentine with a cloudy body and a shaven humanoid head, the Umibozu is said to appear on calm nights to wreak havoc on ships. If it doesn't outright destroy a vessel, it demands a barrel from the crew, which it fills with water and dumps on the deck of the ship to sink it.
Dang. See, that is some more information on the Umibozu, because I feel like we didn't know it had a shaven head. How does it shave underwater like that? Does it have a razor, maybe? I don't know. That the bucket is actually meant to just add more water to the deck. Rest in peace. That it will come on calm nights, even when you think you're safe. Not.
Cthulhu is an
Cthulhu.
undersea monster and has been
Cthulhu.
described as a mix between a giant octopus, a man,
Speaking of
and a dragon.
Lovecraftian.
It's hundreds of meters tall, with human-looking arms and legs and a pair of wings on its back. Cthulhu's head looks like an octopus, with tentacles surrounding its supposed mouth. H.P. Lovecraft's story, The Call of Cthulhu, established the character as a malevolent entity hibernating within an underwater city in the South Pacific called R'lyeh. Games company TSR included an entire chapter on the Cthulhu mythos in Deities and Demigods 1980.
Gotta love the Cthulhu mythos. I don't know why he said it like Cthulhu. Maybe that's more correct, but I feel like it's not. I think it's Cthulhu. But you gotta love that deep, dark world that H.P. Lovecraft created with the cults ever chanting, ever looking for new members, waiting for him to come back, communicating, chanting. It's wild. And the fact that Cthulhu is not even close to the most powerful Lovecraftian monster is mind-blowing, to say the least.
The Lernaean Hydra was an ancient serpentine water monster in Greek and Roman mythology. Its lair was the Lake of Lerna in the Argolid. Lerna was reputed to be an entrance to the underworld, a sacred site older than Mycenaean Argos. The Hydra served as a sort of guard. The Hydra was the offspring of Typhon and Echidna. It possessed many heads, and each time one was lost, it was replaced by two more. It had poisonous breath and blood so virulent that even its scent was deadly.
Yeah, Hydra is a classic. Does anybody else have the horrifying childhood nightmare playing over and over again in their heads of the Hydra from Hercules? Oof. Cutting off the heads, watching two more sprout out. Unbelievable. The Hydra is a phenomenal beast. Another classic, this is a little more recent, classic Hydra experience is fighting the Hydra in Dark Souls. I've never even fought it, man. I see it and I run the other way because all it does is spit things at you. You get too close, you drown. No good. Hydras, don't mess with them.
As the goddess of saltwater, Tiamat
goddess of
mated with
saltwater,
Apsu, the god of freshwater, to reproduce and give life to the lesser gods. According to legend, Tiamat and Apsu intended to kill the lesser gods, but when intercepted by Ea and Marduk, the two were slaughtered. Marduk cut Tiamat in half and used her body to create the sky, the earth, and the clouds, while her tears formed the Tigris and Euphrates. Originally depicted as a dragon or sea serpent, Tiamat's popularized form as a multi-headed dragon spawned from Dungeons & Dragons in the 1970s.
I just feel like that was like information overload almost. Just so many different things were happening about its birth, about its being split in half to create basically the entire world, about it being also known as a five-headed dragon. There is a lot going on with this creature, but it feels like something that is just so totally mythological that it couldn't ever actually exist. It's a creation story, you know?
Classical creature first detailed in 12th century Norway, the Kraken has morphed into a variety of different on-screen and literary monstrosities. In the Natural History of Norway, Bishop of Bergen, Erik Ludvigsen Pontoppidan, described the Kraken as the largest sea monster in the world with a width of up to 1.5 miles and starfish-like protuberances. Though the gruesome picture of a ship-sinking sea monster was diminished slightly in the 18th century when French scientist Pierre Denis de Montfort linked it to a large kraken octopus.
Kraken octopus. Gotta love the Kraken. Legendary. Enormous. 1.5 miles wide. Can't even run away from it, man. There's no way you're traversing faster than a thing that is 1.5 miles wide. It's not happening. It's gonna grab you. It's gonna tear you to pieces. The Kraken is like the be-all and end-all of sea monsters, eh? Remember when like Release the Kraken was like the biggest meme going? Now it's got a hockey team, man. I bet you they made Seattle's hockey team the Kraken just so they could say, Release the Kraken. And for good reason, too. Wicked beast. Makes for good calamari, too. I wonder if Starro was inspired by the Kraken. I bet. And that is all the time we have for today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed these deep sea urban legends. Let me know if you think any of them are true. Have you seen anything like this? Make sure you stick around for some bloopers. I'm always saying and doing questionable stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Follow that up with some scary deep sea urban legends that might be true. Let's find out. Number 9. 3. Oh, it's the Kappa. 3. But, I think that last little. I sneezed earlier and split my lip, and now I'm like trying not to open my mouth too wide. It sucks. It's also quite a nice dark rum. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on this channel. Oh, I love the Kraken. Lemon. Thanks for watching. What am I saying?